Responsibility doesn't always arrive as a choice. Sometimes it slowly becomes expected, and no one ever says it out loud. It's a silent agreement that was never agreed upon. It begins small, almost unnoticed. A simple request, or a momentary need. You step up because you can, because it seems like the right thing to do. Maybe it was helping a sibling with their homework just once, or staying late at work to finish a team project. It felt good to be helpful, to be the one someone could count on. That one time becomes a few times. The small favor becomes a regular thing. The request no longer needs to be made. It's just assumed you'll handle it. You become the go-to person for that specific task, that specific problem, and it's not a formal role. There was no meeting, no discussion, no clear delegation of duties. It just happened. Your reliability, once a strength, morphs into an assumption. People around you adjust their own behavior based on the quiet certainty that you will take care of things. If you always make the coffee in the morning, others stop thinking about it. If you're the one who always remembers birthdays and organizes the gifts, the rest of the group quietly steps back. It's efficient. It works. But no one ever acknowledged the shift, the moment where your voluntary action became your unspoken duty. It's a pattern that builds on itself, layered by layer. The more you do, the more is expected. The more reliable you are, the less people see the effort behind it. It simply becomes part of the landscape, a given. The foundation of this expectation isn't malicious. It's often born from convenience and your own competence. But it's a foundation built on sand, because it lacks the one thing that makes responsibility healthy: explicit agreement. Wito dat. It's just a role you fell into, one that everyone now expects you to play. So why do we accept this? Why do we continue to carry these unspoken responsibilities, even when they start to feel heavy? A large part of it is the desire to avoid conflict. To push back, to say this isn't my job, feels confrontational. It disrupts the smooth flow of the system that everyone has grown accustomed to. It means having a conversation that no one wants to have, a conversation that might make things awkward. So we stay silent. We tell ourselves it is easier to just do it than to deal with the potential fallout of refusing. Then there's the need to be seen as dependable. Being reliable is a core part of many people's identity. We take pride in being the person others can count on. It gives us a sense of value, of purpose within a family, a group of friends, or a workplace. Letting go of that responsibility can feel like letting go of a part of who we are. It can feel like we are failing, like we are no longer the strong, capable person we want to be. The fear of disappointing others is a powerful motivator. We see the reliance in their eyes. We know they are counting on us. The thought of letting them down, of causing them inconvenience or stress, can be unbearable. So we absorb the pressure ourselves. We take on the extra load to shield them from it. It feels selfless. It feels like love or loyalty. But over time, what starts as a responsible act becomes our identity. It's no longer just something you do. It's who you are. You're the responsible one, the planner, the problem solver, the one who holds it all together. This identity can be a source of pride, but it's also a cage. Once you are defined by your reliability, stepping away from it feels like a betrayal, not just of others, but of yourself. The role becomes so ingrained that we forget we ever had a choice. We forget that it started as a simple act of goodwill and not a lifelong contract. We just keep going because that's what the responsible one does. This quiet acceptance comes at a cost, one that is rarely seen or acknowledged by others. The most immediate cost is a deep, persistent emotional fatigue. Carrying the weight of unspoken expectations is draining. It's not just the physical act of doing the tasks, it's the mental load of remembering, planning, and worrying. It's the constant, low-level hum of pressure in the back of your mind. You are always on duty because the responsibility was never formally defined, so it has no clear boundaries, no offs. This leads to a profound feeling of being unseen. The effort you expend is invisible because it has become routine. When something is always done, people stop noticing the work it takes to do it. They only notice when it's not done. So you operate in the background, ensuring everything runs smoothly, yet your contribution is taken for granted. You receive no praise for carrying the load, only potential blame if you drop it. This creates a strange paradox. You are essential, yet you feel invisible. There's a constant pressure without acknowledgement. You feel the weight of the expectation every day, but because no one ever speaks of it, you can't speak of the pressure it creates. How do you complain about a job you were never officially given? How do you ask for help with a responsibility no one admits you have? You are left to manage the stress in silence. The burden is yours alone. It's a lonely place to be so central to the functioning of a group, yet feel so isolated in your experience of it. The silence that creates the expectation is the same silence that prevents you from seeking support. And so, the emotional cost continues to grow, silently, under the surface. Over the long term, this pattern has a significant impact on a person's life. It becomes incredibly difficult to step back or change the dynamic. Any attempt to do so is often met with confusion, frustration, or even subtle guilt-tripping from others. They've built their own routines around your reliability. Your decision to pull back disrupts their world. They may not understand that you're not trying to be difficult. You're trying to survive. But from their perspective, you are suddenly failing to meet the unspoken terms of your role. This leads to a powerful sense of guilt whenever you try to say no. Saying no doesn't feel like setting a healthy boundary. It feels like a personal failing. It feels like you are being selfish or letting everyone down. This guilt can be so strong that it pushes you right back into the old pattern, reinforcing the idea that it's just easier to say yes. The most significant long-term impact is the growing distance from your own needs and desires. When you spend so much energy meeting the unspoken expectations of others, there is little left for yourself. Your personal goals, hobbies, and even your need for rest get pushed to the side. You slowly forget what it feels like to do something just for you, without it serving some larger purpose for the group. Your identity has become so enmeshed with being the responsible one that you lose touch with the other parts of yourself. Your life becomes about maintaining the system, maintaining relationships, maintaining the peace, but you forget to maintain yourself. This gradual erosion of self is the ultimate price of carrying a burden that was never formally yours to begin with. You are left holding everything together, except for the one person you neglected along the way. Responsibility isn't the problem. The expectation that no one names is. It's the silence that turns a choice into a chain and a favor into a sentence. It's the quiet assumption that costs the most. Thanks for watching.